Hello and welcome back. I'm William James. I'm the host of The Bald Book Geek. How are all of you? The Marvels is out, and I've talked about that, and I'm not going to go into that film. It's a failure. It's not done well, but one of the actresses got something right. They need to make movies with characters and stories that people care about. And I know that is something people don't often understand. You can have a really big budget spectacle of a thing, Rings of Power is one of them, and if it doesn't really resonate with audiences, it's not going to do well. And we see it over and over again, these huge budget movies and TV shows on Disney Plus and other places that don't resonate with audiences. And with Disney, I think a lot of the issue is just flooding the market. There are so many Marvel shows, so many Star Wars shows, so many things that are a constant rinse and repeat of the same themes and the same. When I go back to those early films, everything was a bit trial and error. They hadn't settled on a formula, they took themselves very seriously, and the newer films just don't hit those notes. Thor Love and Thunder was absolutely atrocious, and a lot of these films are over-reliant on really weird CGI. Not good CGI, not bad CGI, but weird. And there's been a lot of internal drama with Disney, with artists and special effects people not really getting what they deserve, and deadlines so tight, nothing seems finished. When I look back on those earlier Marvel films, be it Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and all the way through into the MCU stuff, there was a sense of scope, adventure, and you cared about these characters. And once you start saturating that market, once you start filling that market, bad because people don't care. I'm old enough to remember when Star Wars getting reissued in the cinemas was a huge event. I'm old enough to remember when these Marvel movies were huge events. I just think they're now unrealistic because they've diluted the brand to the point that it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. I think with the Marvels, they thought, let's do a shorter movie and keep it that way. But when you look at things like, they're almost empty vessels, they're decaying coffins. She-Hulk Attorney at Law was not great, despite what the Karen of the internet Dan Slott said. The Loki spin-off is not good either, and these shows just really do represent franchise fatigue and boredom. And I think that's where people have hit. People are bored with this stuff. People are tired of these rinse and repeat movies with the same themes, and every movie, it's teased on the end scene and the post-credit scene and the post-credit scene to tease the next project or drop an Easter egg. It didn't help with The Last Doctor Strange and the Marvels that they're actually sequels to TV shows, which seems ridiculous because a movie should stand alone. And if you are just doing a sequel to a TV show, maybe keep it as a TV show. You can't keep creating the same generic content on a loop and expect it to make money. And I think Disney have got very lazy with their approach. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy is a talentless hack now. Once, by the way, she was helmed some great films, but recent years, it's like, put a chick in it and make it gay. South Park was right. And it just seems to be this generic slog of these movies that people don't care about. Modern cinema has changed, and people using the what happened in 2020, words I can't say on this channel, other excuses, apparently, you don't like strong women on screen. I can think of countless movies with strong women in that I love. One of them is unironically Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. I want her stomach muscles. Literally. But, there are countless movies. It's not to do with strong women on screen. It's not to do with lockdowns and we're still recovering and all of this. No, Spider-Man proved that theory wrong. It's to do with just people are tired. And I think that's ultimately what's happened. People are tired of the rinse and repeat generic content that doesn't tend to do anything new. When you look back at those old MCU movies, the older ones, like Iron Man, for example, they were great. They were romps. Were there good ones? Were there bad ones? Yes. I love the Captain America movie, for example. You had your ups and downs, but the downs keep coming. And the thing is, these movies are getting ridiculously expensive to make, and it's a constant thing of this budget is extremely overinflated. When you're spending 200 plus million on a film, there is a problem. And it's not about money, it's not about it's not about any of that. It's about creating something that people want to see. I think Marvel need to take a step back. I think they need to just put a lid on everything for the time being. Take some breaths and finish, and just give it 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and give it a break. Marvel aren't going to have $1 million movie this year, and there are many reasons for it, and I genuinely think even the weaker Marvel movies pre this did make money because people cared about the characters. Now they don't. Captain Marvel is the wrong character to helm the MCU because she's very much a blank slate, and I think she's unrelatable to the audience. But also, people saying, well, men don't want to see these movies is another ridiculous statement, because I know plenty of women that don't want to see these movies. Basically, what Marvel have done is set up a universe and try out as many things as they can within it, changing genres. She-Hulk's Attorney at Law was absolutely atrocious. It was green Ally McBeal. I was half expecting a dancing baby. Just create something that people care about. Instead of churning these movies out 3, 4, 5 times a year, and TV shows as well, a year. Take a step back, because you're not making money. You are bleeding money. And it's very simple. Learn from Spider-Man. Give the audience what they want, and the audience will give you money. And I know that's a really hard thing for people to accept, but trying to make a positive out of a negative is extremely bad, and the fact that people are unwilling to admit the failures here. I also find it interesting that people who were once... Disney is an evil corporation, let's be real. They tend to buy everything and destroy it, but they also once were some of the leaders, be it animation, be it creation, be it CGI films, be it the Disney Pixar stuff. They were once the leaders and everyone followed. And now that's not the case, because people are doing their own thing. When independent cinema, which has always been better than mainstream Hollywood, amazing, and some of the best TV shows and movies I've seen in recent years have been either small release independent stuff or kind of those back burn, slow burn stuffs. Like good sci-fi is hard to come by now. And when things like Outer Range premiered, and it was phenomenal. It's just... a lot of Marvel's problems are also they treat the audience like idiots. They treat their audience like idiots, and they forget who their core audience are. A lot of these people that they've alienated grew up with these comic books and these characters wanting to be them. I think their inability to create a substantial blockbuster movie in recent years shows, and unfortunately, definitely unfortunately, you can't keep making excuses for failure and blaming other people for your failure. So give Marvel a break. Give everything a break and come back with a fresh pool of people. Start from ground zero. There is rumours of a reboot, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be a good thing. The only MCU movie I'm actually looking forward to is Deadpool, because I love Ryan Reynolds, but who doesn't love Ryan Reynolds? But yeah, just on a creative thing, you cannot keep churning out this stuff and thinking it's going to be a creative exercise each time. These films often feel like they're being made by committee, and it shows. So unfortunately, I think people need to just take a break, breathe. That's all it needs, just breathing room, and rethink a game plan. I think the worst thing to happen was Disney's involvement, and I think Disney are leading a lot of this just becoming internet memes, let's be honest. So tell me what you think in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later.